Hey, everybody. Sorry I'm a few minutes late. I got caught up in the DMs. That's a thing, isn't it? Somebody messaging me about my program, and I am late here to serve you, but I am actually excited about this particular topic. So, what we're going to talk about today, and as you guys are coming in, I want to remind you to be sure to hashtag I am here and drop your name so I know who you are. Because if you haven't clicked that link in the comments, I'll see you as a Facebook profile. I won't see your name. All right. So make sure you hashtag I am here and give me your name. All right. So what do I want to talk about today? I'm going to just jump on Facebook here for a minute so I can tag a few of you guys. I am here, Nicole Morgan. Hey, Nicole, how are you? I absolutely loved your win in your pictures, by the way. You are kicking ass. All right. So I've got one of you here. So guys, Nicole, you know what you could do? Could you do me a favor? Hey, Dana, if you guys could do me a favor, then I don't have to do it and I can start chatting right away, is if you guys can tag some people in the comments, I'd greatly appreciate it. Those that are not here, but I appreciate you guys being here. So what I want to talk about today, this just came to me today, slightly because I've had a few people come and comment to me about it. Also, because guess what? Your girl here, your coach, got a little guilty of this herself. So, how many of you guys kinda, sorta follow a plan? So, you got a macro plan, you got a meal plan, and just you follow it. Like, you follow it, and when you check in, you're like, yeah, I'm 100%. But were you? If you're guilty of that, raise your hand, please. It's okay. Coach's got her hand up. So I want to talk about what that kinda, sorta is, whether it's macros or meal plans. So, hey, Dana, I love it. I know Nicole's not going to put her hand up because she's always 100. So here's the thing, whether it's macros or a meal plan, we can kind of sort of follow it. Oh, speaking of meal plans, I'm supposed to eat. We kind of sort of follow it, right? And because we're really doing it for the most part, we're like, yeah, I'm 100. I'm totally 100. Honestly, what's a macro? I don't know who just wrote that. But we'll talk about that. We talked about that in it's a great question. I will address it in a minute. We actually talked about that on a few tribe talks ago, but I will get back into that. So let's just say you're on a meal plan. Hey, Maria, how are you? On a meal plan. So let's go back to that. So why is my philosophy a meal plan over macros? Well, if you've ever been on a consult call with me, you're going to hear me say, I'm not the girl on social media that's going to talk about flexible dieting or following macros because, and this is why. So this is the reality of it. Because whoever this is that just said, honestly, what the hell's a macro? How the hell are you going to follow a macro plan? How are you going to follow macronutrients if you don't understand how to fuel your body properly? Who's with me? Drop some fire if you're with me and you get that. Because if you don't know how to properly fuel your body, even if you understand what a macro is and you decide, well, I've hit my macros, this is my favorite saying, but I had a Pop-Tart. And I'm like, but Maria, why'd you have a Pop-Tart? Because, Jules, it fit into my macros. I'm good. But did it properly fuel your body? Tell us about honey and maple sugar, Marina. We just had that conversation. So that's kind of why I want you guys to learn what a macro is, what types of carbohydrates, proteins and fats. And by the way, who said honest or whoever just asked me what is a macro, that's what it is. We all have a caloric intake that we're supposed to take in. So a certain amount of calories that we need to take in order to fuel our body as energy to like be able to function throughout the day. Macros are the macronutrients that create a calorie or the calories. So the calories we consume come from macronutrients, X amount of grams of protein, X amount of grams of fats, X amount of grams of carbohydrates. Carbohydrates, Marina, are what? Drop it in the comments. What are they? What do they do for us? Dana, tell me what proteins are, what they do for us. And Nicole, if you know, what do fats do for us? Yes, carbohydrates are energy. They are what give us energy. So those of us that are afraid of carbohydrates, yeesh, we need them. They're the fuel that propel us through a workout, that give us the energy to go through the day. Can we overconsume carbohydrates? Shit, yes. Can we take in the wrong ones? Absolutely. Marina, tell me what are the wrong kinds of carbohydrates to be fueling our body with, or maybe not the best. Dana, did you tell me what protein is yet? So, protein, guys, is basically what builds our muscles, okay? Protein is what we need to repair muscle breakdown, to repair the cells in our body, and it is the least likely one to turn into fat if we overeat it. Carbohydrates, if we eat too many of them or the wrong ones, once they've done their job, they can be stored in our body as body fat. That's what'll happen with them. Fats can do the same thing. Fats also provide energy. So I don't know if somebody said that, but fats also provide energy. And the beautiful thing about a fat providing energy is it can do in 1 gram what takes now I could be a little off on this if you Google it, but like what 100 grams of carbohydrates take. So that's kind of cool. However, they can also very quickly go overboard, meaning because it only takes 1 gram to 100 grams of carbohydrates, so 1 gram of fat to 100 grams of carbohydrates to fuel your body, you can very easily overeat fats. And then they get also stored as fat in our body. So that is the scoop on macronutrients and what macros are. So actually that was a really good lead into it. So now let's think about, yes, excessive sugar and processed foods. Well done, Marina. Everybody drop that girl some fire. She's been paying attention. I love it. Okay, so where was I? Your coach just squirreled on you. So what happens when we kind of sort of follow the meal plan? We kind of sort of eat all the meals. We kind of sort of follow the macros. So back to why I put you on a meal plan is obviously I want you to understand what is best for your body. And as you can see by Marina here, and I know Dana knows the same thing, and Nicole, you're learning it. I want you to know what's proper to fuel your body, not the Pop-Tart, not the processed food or the excess sugar. Yes, that will give you energy. However, sometimes it can have you crashing in the middle of the day and leave you tired because it can spike your glycogen levels, right? Like think diabetics. That's another not so great thing about eating too much processed sugar and carbohydrates. You could become diabetic. That's why a lot of these things, or obesity happens as well. But if you properly fuel your body, then what you're putting in as far as macronutrients are only firing your engine and utilizing it to propel you through the day or your exercises, your workouts. And if you're in a deficit, then once you've burned through all of that fuel, the body will then start to burn body fat for fuel. As long as we're smart about it and we keep feeding the body every few hours so it never thinks it's starving to death. Because there's the other side. Because maybe somebody's listening to this and going, whoa, oh, caloric deficit. So if I only eat once a day, my body's going to burn fat the rest of the day. Yeah, no, not so much. Now it's going to think you're starving it to death. And it's just going to store what you feed it as body fat, just in case you continue to do this lovely little trick to it. So, back on topic. So, we're going through the day. And suddenly you plateau. Okay, so I'm going to bring this up for a couple of reasons. So I've ran into this issue a few times, and not in a bad way. A couple of the tribe members they've just kind of plateaued. Nothing's been going on. I'm kind of scratching my head, looking at the macros, meal plan, kind of things right here. They're kicking ass in the gym. So I started asking a little probing questions. Well, I noticed you're following the meal plan 100%. Are you following it 100%? Or are you grazing a little bit in between meals? Ding, 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 ding. Guess what the comment was back? What do you think? Drop it in the comments. What do you think the answer was? Hey, I am here. Could you hashtag your name for me so I know who I am here is? So who can guess what the answer to that question was? You're following the meal plan 100%, but are you nibbling or grazing in between meals? The answer is I'm grazing between meals, and it wasn't even a bad thing. It was like, oh shit. Yeah, I am. I am nibbling between meals. It's on stuff that's on my meal plan, and I thought I was being good, but oh. So guys, think for a minute. If you're nibbling on things between your meals, I challenge you. So whether you're a tribe member of mine that might be doing this, or you're somebody in the group here that's listening in and you are plateaued and you've been on a meal plan and you're like, I don't understand what's going on here. Start tracking the little nibbles you have. And this is a common thing. I've had several people plateau on me, and the end of the result is, hey, Amber, sometimes the result is, or the reason behind it is because of the grazing between meals, even on the things that are actually in your meal plan. So for example, I have 15 almonds on my meal plan. Yeah, I'll just have 15 more because you know what? They're on my meal plan. They're good for me. You can easily add up to 1,000 calories to a meal plan by just grazing. So that's what I mean by kind of, sorta. Now, are we all guilty of it? Sure. So as some of you may have been watching my story and saw that I got in trouble with my coach and I got put on a meal plan, rightfully so. Because, yeah, eating mindlessly, absolutely. So you don't even notice what you're putting in your body. Exactly. And it might be a complete accident. And Marina, to your point, like I said, everybody here that I've ever brought it up to, and I just had a couple of people that I recently just asked the question. And they came back and they went, oh, shit. You're right. That's what I'm doing. Yeah, don't change my meal plan. Let me just button shit up here a little bit and let's see what happens. But I'm guilty of it too. So like I said, for example, if you watch my story, you see that I wound up in meal prep jail with my coach. And I was joking with him about it. And he just came back and he said the actual truth that I would say to any of you. And he goes, well, I know you're trying to tighten your body up for the summer. And he goes, and I have a funny feeling that you were following the macros, which, you're okay with. He goes, but you probably got to a point where, it's okay. It doesn't matter. It's good enough. And I read his message and I went, fuck, he's right. It's exactly what I was doing. And I know better. I was following a meal plan. I was doing really good. I was putting down that I was doing 100, but when I looked back, I was like, and I wasn't necessarily grazing between meals. I wasn't doing that, but I was doing the it's good enough thing. It's good enough. I was close enough in my macros. That was close enough to how many ounces of lean, whatever I was supposed to have. And here's the funny thing, guys. Are you ready for this? Are y'all sitting down? You want to know what I was doing? Who can guess what I was doing? Was I overeating? Because I'm down 2 pounds this week and I'm looking tight as fuck. Could be the mushrooms he's feeding me. I don't know. Anybody guess what I was doing? I wasn't eating enough. I wasn't eating enough. Let me repeat that again. Everybody write that in the comments. I plateaued. Jules, your coach, plateaued because she wasn't eating enough. I wasn't eating enough. Write that in the comments. And I wasn't losing a pound. Yikes. No, I wasn't eating 1,000 calories. I was eating more than that. And let me clarify, I wasn't eating enough for my body type, okay? So let's remember, everybody's caloric deficit is very, very different, and it depends on your body type. It depends on how tall you are, how short you are, how much muscle you have, how much you work out, how much you don't work out. I got a shit ton of muscle, guys. I wasn't eating enough. He doubled my protein. I thought I was eating the right amount of protein for my macros. You should see what I'm eating now. So, does that make sense, guys? Like how we can get caught up in the it's good enough. And it happens all the time. Now, there are some things that we can maneuver in our meal plan. And let me backtrack on this, guys. What I was doing as good enough was good enough if I was looking to maintain. Because remember, I said I plateaued. Remember what I said about the clients and the tribe members I was talking about? They plateaued. Is plateauing okay if you've hit your goals? Who thinks plateauing is okay if you hit your goals? Drop me some fire if you think that's okay. Let me know you're here. Yeah, it's 100% okay. It's talked. Yeah, you're on point. You're tight. X amount of days a week. You allow yourself. You understand your body. You allow yourself a treat meal here and there. You know how to rebound out of it. You know what's good enough. You have good enough days, and you have days that you come out of it. But if you keep that up and your goal, and Marina and I just had this conversation via a DM, if your goal is big and it's to cut, then you've got to tighten shit up. Good enough isn't good enough. So there's nothing wrong with that. It just depends on what your goals are. Make sense? That makes sense? Give me a high five. Woo woo. Hey, Allison. So guys, what you want to do, and so just to kind of take it all back and why I wanted to have this conversation. There's no right or wrong here, guys. I just wanted like everybody to take like a zoom out, if you will. And because of my blurry background, this is giving a hell of an effect. Zoom out, if you will, and take a look at your overall week, whether you're on macros or on a meal plan, and ask yourself, am I following it 100%? Or am I having an extra almond here? I'll have an extra half a slice of bread. maybe I'll have a little more oatmeal. Or if you're like me, that extra rice cake, Marina's going to crack up. That extra rice cake, yeah, it's not going to hurt me. It's only 35 calories. What's it going to hurt? Or I start thinking for myself and I don't feed myself enough. I'm not giving myself enough protein. And I'm wondering why I want that extra rice cake because I'm not filling myself up with enough protein, which is what my body needs. And by the way, guys, protein keeps you full. Everybody needs 1 gram of protein per body pound, unless you have substantial weight to lose. Then a minimum of, I like to say 35 to 40% of your caloric intake should be protein, or at minimum 100 grams. Rice cake. Yeah, I love rice cakes. I can't even keep them in my house. It's crazy. I love them that much. All right, guys. So if that makes sense, please, again, drop me some fire in the comments. Now, and I want to take it back to the beginning. So as I said, zoom out. I got squirreled on you guys again. Take a look at your meal plan. And it's okay. Like, think back. And if you're adding extra things in, take a minute to add that up. You might be surprised the extra calories that you're putting in. So the next time you go to check 100, ask yourself, am I really doing it 100 or did I have some little treats here and there? Now, what things can you do if you got the munchies? Do I still get the munchies sometimes between meals? I'm looking for something that I can't seem to find that I was going to show you. Sorry, guys. Sure. Like I get like little cravings sometimes, and there's things that you can do that really won't add any value to your plan. Cucumbers, for example, have at it. Eat cucumbers like they're going out of style if you want. Celery. And, flavored water. I think I posted it in my story. That's what I was looking for. I posted it in my story a couple of days ago. I don't recommend it a lot, but I have flavored water in my refrigerator. So if I just need something sparkly, and here's what I like about flavored water. It's fizzy and it fills you up more so than water will. Now, is that something I want to do all the time? Absolutely not. Do I have more than one a day? Absolutely not. I don't even usually have one a day, maybe a couple a week. Because once again, it's the spare time. The spare time is not good for you. Bubbly actually isn't that bad. That's the things that don't have a spare time in them. But still, they'll expand your belly and make you feel full. So sometimes that'll help. Here's another one that you guys can try. That will help curb sweet tooth. And again, it's not something that I would do a lot of, and sometimes I'll even write it into your meal plans at night, because those of you that have little issues at night, sometimes I'll put this in. Sugar-free Jell-O. It has 10 calories. Now, I'm not telling you to do this right now because I just said, if you're adding those little good enoughs in there, that 10 calories, if it's not in your meal plan, will add 10 calories. So you got to think 7 days of doing that, if it's not in your meal plan, has just added 70 calories to your meal plan. But that's still not a big deal. Okay, honestly. That's not going to break the bank. I'm talking about the almonds, the bread, things that are higher, the oatmeal, things like that, the rice cakes, believe it or not, that are causing, or extra protein even. I was underfeeding my protein, but maybe sometimes I've even seen people say, myself included, when I was in prep, but it's protein. It's good for me. So I'll just have another little bite of chicken because I'm starving to death right now. Not a good idea. Even though it's protein, it's probably the lesser of all evils to do that. But sugar-free Jell-O can be a good one to curb a sweet tooth at night. It has absolutely nothing in it. It's got 10 calories and I think 1 gram of protein. And you can have that if you have a sweet tooth at night. Again, it is processed food. It's not the best, but sometimes when you have a craving, it can help. All right, guys. If that made sense, if you've got any questions for me, I'm going to open the floor, but I really wanted to share that because one, I did it myself. Two, I've had a few of you guys that have had that like, holy shit, I didn't even really think about that. So if you're plateauing and you don't understand what's going on because you swear you're doing everything right, I challenge you to zoom out, take a look. Are you actually following that plan 100%? Because sometimes we don't figure that out, especially if we're not gaining weight. We've just plateaued. We're like, I'm just stuck. Something's not working. 90% of the time, that's what it is. Watermelon. Watermelon's great for you, but Allison, it does have a value. So I wouldn't be adding it to your meal plan unless you're counting macros. Watermelon could be swapped out for another fruit. And out of all the melons, it is actually one of the ones that is least in calories. But again, it would be something that I would consider like adding to your meal plan. So if you're eating watermelon in between your meals, it's one of those good enough things because it can add up pretty quickly. However, it can replace like a fruit on your plan. That answer your question? As long as it matches the macros. Gotcha. Yep. So basically, guys, what to think about is, and again, this is really good stuff because think about it. How much are you adding to your meal plan that's really not in it? Or even if you don't have a meal plan, if you're counting macros and you have macros, how many little good enoughs, be it watermelon, be it extra berries, be it peanut butter, be it protein, whatever, are you adding in? It counts. And like I said, just take a minute, guys, to add it all up. Like if you're in MyFitnessPal, I don't know if you can do it in my app. I don't think you can set up two, but you can't have two profiles in my app, but you could have it if you're counting it in the app, in the Tribe app, and you could then open up MyFitnessPal and you could do your actual macros, whatever you're doing. And then, okay, because you've got that in your plan, right? It's in the app. You've got it copied and pasted. You know what you eat every day. Now open up MyFitnessPal, just the free one. And just for the fun of it, add in all the little extra things you've been eating. See what happens. And then come back to me, if that happens to be you, with how many calories, grams of protein, carbohydrates, and fats that you've been eating extra. It might shock you. Any other questions, guys? It's crazy, isn't it? Somebody said mindless eating. That's exactly what happens. We just don't think about it. And again, like I said, those little things, guys, like you guys have named off all things that are not bad for you, but it just depends on what that end result is. What is the goal that you're looking for? Like if I was cool with what was going on with me, I was fine. In fact, I mean, the good thing is, and this is exactly what I said to my coach, well, the good thing is we know that I now know how to maintain my weight without fluctuating it. Like, and that was a problem in the past because of me in and out of prep all the time. We were having a hard time stabilizing me. And I'm like, well, we solved that problem. I now know how to stabilize myself. Now I had to just get back in a cut. And it's different for everybody, guys. So the other lesson to be learned here from me is I can follow macros very, very well. But I tend to do that good enough thing when I follow macros. And I've known about this about myself from day one. That's why I tell my coaches to put me on a meal plan. And he insisted on having me on macros. So it really came as no surprise to me when I got the message that said, and in capital letters, you will have a meal plan next week. I was like, been waiting for that one because I do better on a meal plan. I do better knowing exactly, yes, they can be a bitch. It can be kind of hard. You have to be super disciplined, Marion. Yeah, Marina. Very, very disciplined to follow a strict macro plan. And some people are. But that's why I go on a meal plan. So if I've got a meal plan and it says boom, 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 I'm like a robot. I'll boom, 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 follow it. And that's just the way that I am. I won't vary. I won't go off plan. I'll just eat exactly what I'm supposed to eat. Questions? Shit adds up. Yes, scary. You guys are cracking me up. All right. So, well, you guys, I see I still got a few of you guys in here. So I wanted to let you know I'm going to be making an announcement in here as well. I think most of you that are watching this right now are in the tribe. If anybody watches this on the replay that is not currently in one of my programs, or if you know of somebody that has been sitting on the fence and wants to start with me, but really isn't sure if they want to commit, you may have seen a little peek on my story today. I'm going to be doing something new, something I've never done before. I'm going to run a 30-day program. It is only going to be open to 10 people. First come, first serve. Lucky for them, if they happen to know you and mention your name, they'll zip up to the top of the list. But it'll just be 30 days. It'll be a way for them to try it out. So if you have some people that have been asking you or have been interested but just didn't want to commit to a full 16-week program, now's their chance to hit me up. So just tell them to DM me, or if you're listening to this and you're in this group, just drop a comment below. Simply a green heart will do, and I will make sure to get to you with all the details, but I'm only accepting 10 people into this program. So that's it. And those of you that are with me, don't worry, I got a little something coming for you too. Anyway, who's got questions? And again, if you guys watch this on the replay, make sure you hashtag replay so that I know you are here. And also, if you have any ideas of what you'd like to hear for next week's Tribe Talk, let me know. All right, guys. Thanks for tuning in. Peace out. Have a great night. Thanks for joining.